Hello and welcome along and welcome back to a Charwell. Today we're going to be making a few plans and sort of moving forward. I've been refining a few bits and pieces on here and I want to show you my immediate plan. Now, something we've discussed before on here. This field eventually is where we're going to expand our farm to. But I've been doing a little bit of maths and yeah, we cannot do that at the moment. So our best bet is going to be this barn here. So the plan will be, once we are moving forward a little bit, we're going to pop into the silos here. And because we've got the place anywhere with the global mod, we've got these bulk spaces. And I think we actually might get these in here today and try and sort these out. So it should be a case that we can fit 3 of these. If we look at this and get these lined up, we should be able to fit 3 of these along this wall. So that would be 1 there, 1 about there, and then I think we might be pushed to get another one above there. The other way to do it, of course, is to put this one in the middle here-ish, and then we should be able... Oh, we might fit 3 across here. There. No, we're not going to fit 3 across here. Yeah, it is going to be 2 on this side. Now, I think 1 at the end here will be really useful. So we're going to stick this one at the end here. And I just want to get myself lined up so that I can see the very edge here. And if that all goes in at the same time, which it does, then this is going to be a perfect place to put this. And the great thing about these, as you can see, we could overlap these because we've got place anywhere, we're in a position where these can overlap. But actually, I think we might even be in a position where we can place 3 along here. Been going backwards and forwards about that possibility. And it's not quite. We're going to have to overlap the last one. But that is still not what I expected. So we've got 3 bays. We're putting 3 bays in here. Now, as a result of this, the interesting thing here is that last one, that second one, is actually further back. So I'm going to place this front one here and then go and sell that middle one. Again, as these are 3,000 each, we are not too worried about that. There we go. About there should do that. So we've got 3 spaces in here. Let's go and have a look at these. That's actually really nicely placed there, right up to the back. You can see this one is a little bit further back. The middle one is a little bit further back than I would like. So we are going to just sell that one off quickly and place it again. Now the thing is that it's not too big a deal to do that. So we just grab one of those, sell it, and select that one. Yep. Okay, and then we can put another one in here. So P. Oh no. There we go. Back. Silos. And here. Now we should be able to get a trailer into here. I'm not too worried about backing a trailer into this space and getting it tipped. We're going to need a little tractor or something, I think, to ensure that we go nice and straight. Let's straighten this up. I think that should do it. So let's just swing around. Get ourselves lined up properly. Now this is where it gets difficult placing this kind of stuff. We want to be in there like that, and in here like this, and just sort of this is planning ahead and getting ourselves in a good position. And you can see actually it does stick out a little bit, but not too far. And we'll put it right in the middle like so. There we go. Happier with that. Good piece of engineering there. Nicely placed in. And yeah, that works brilliantly. So we got these 3 here. We got the same for the other side here. So we'll get these ones in as well. And if we, so we spin around, and this then becomes our storage space. We're able to put anything in here we want to, and store anything in here we want to, as a result. Now, part of the reason why I'm doing this is because we need to go out seeding again, and I didn't want to start the video this time with us just going straight out and doing another set of seeding. So we need to get this stuff in place. Building silos is actually something that's a little bit out of our price range at the moment. There we are. That one there will do. And yeah, we can fit 2 along here really easily. So again, bring that across the side there. We'll come right up to the back there. And there we go. So that should now mean that this one here as well is in here. And this is the beauty of the Place Anywhere mod of that piece of code. We now have an area in here where we can very easily store our crops. Now we have no door on this end, unfortunately, but we do have one on there. So it's a little bit more open to the elements than you probably typically do, but it's okay. So we're going to come into here now. We're down to 76,000. Now, part of the reason why I'm not looking at... firstly, I didn't do that in this barn with its closing door because I was really worried I would never get a trailer backed into that door there in that space, whereas I know I can do it, certainly in these double doors down here. But the other reason is because... it's just too difficult to do that, really. And the reason why we built those, as I mentioned, is because we have 76,000 at the moment. That's after we've just built those bits. Oh, we need to pop out here and do this. And that'll cause us a problem. There's barley. Because... we don't have a huge amount of money. We can borrow some. The only thing I really want to borrow money for is stuff that I'm going to be harvesting with, and that is our combine and our bio baler, because as I mentioned previously, we are going to be doing on this map some poplars. The idea is, as we get into the winter months, we want to work our way through doing some poplars. Our Terra-Trac is out actually on field 31 ploughing at the moment. We are going to plant barley here in field 43. We will go to the top end of it because that is the easier way for us to do it. And yeah, we've altered the crop rotation as a result. You may remember that barley was not something that was listed in my crop rotation previously, and I'll show you the updated one for that. So here's our updated crop rotation. You can see we've got all 6 filled now. And this is because, as you can see, we can get I think 1.2 is the maximum you can get out of the rotation. We have 1.14 the whole way down. So currently we've seeded a field with wheat, we've seeded a field with canola. We're about to seed a field with barley. We're going to seed a field with corn of our big fields, and then the last one we're going to seed with oilseed radish to get that going. And then our smaller fields this time we're putting the poplars in. And the idea behind that is that we should never have more than one big field with poplars in, whereas our smaller fields, so 44 and 42 and 83, will sort of form a field between them. And we'll be able to sort of get the same sort of levels as we would off one of our big fields off those. So that's where we're going with that. Let's turn this on, drop it down, and get planting our barley. And so it also means that one of our sets of fields every year are out of rotation. They've got oilseed radish in there, and hopefully we'll end up with a good amount on them as a result. So it's really, yeah, it really is trying to keep everything going as well as possible. What we're going to do now is I'm going to get this field, I'm going to get some seeding done on here. Hopefully get this done. This is one of our bigger fields, field 43. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this, and then we're going to see where our Terra-Trac's got to, and maybe get some use of that with something else. But I think we need to crack on with this. At this point, we're about halfway through the field. We're down to our last 4% of fertilizer, and our Terra-Trac is finished in the field over. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to the end of this row, and I'm going to tab over to that, and we're going to get that working on another field. We're getting so close actually to having all of our fields done. So stop that driver. Let's stop that, clear that. That is all good. We'll zoom in on that. Let's put this into transport mode so we can easily get it down the roads. And I say easily, this is not going to be an easy exit from this field. Right, there we go, and around and out. There we go. We've made it out. Perfect. Let's get this down. I think we want to go and do field 42 with this next. Or field 19, actually. Field 19, we've got grass in it at the moment. We're going to be putting... well, actually, I'm tempted to leave it as grass this year because we need to put... Let's have a look at what we got. So, fields 19, 42, 44 and 38 all need ploughing. The size of 19 actually is bigger than I expected. It is grass at the moment. What we're going to go and do though is we're going to go and send this off to do field 42. Is field 42? Yeah, field 42, which is the far end. We're actually... I think the way we're going to have to split these fields is maybe put 19 and let's have a look. 19 and 42 are of a similar size. 44 and 83 are of a similar size. So I'm thinking we're going to have a split like that. So maybe 19 with 83 and 42 with 44 might be a good split to do. Right, there we go. Nicely limed, this field. Not all of our fields are limed, I should say, because not all of them have been possible to be limed. I want to finish this field in this bottom corner here. So, about here-ish, I think, is a good point. Actually, perfect point would be to take it to this corner here, clockwise. So like that. Field 42, course generation, field 42, around 4 headlands clockwise, up down rows first, generate me a course. Yeah, no, we have got the right thing there. So course generation, generate the course. Now that is not a good course for this. So I'm going to set this to longest edge instead. Generate that. It does say there's an issue, but it does work how I want it to. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting course. I don't know where it starts. And I did have a course earlier get completely lost, which was very, very strange. But this starts over here, so we'll set this off this way. Kind of going north-south. And drive course. That should be, yeah, that's perfectly on its start point, and away it goes. So this is going to need refueling at some point. Otherwise, we're all good. We can head back over here, start this up again, lift that, and away we go, back to doing this field. Like, oh, we are way too far over for that. There we go. And onto our GPS course. We are on and down. Now, there's an interesting thing with this. Is if you don't have this activated and you lower it. So if it's not actually seeding, we're almost out of fertilizer. We're going to take this back. If you aren't seeding, but you do have it, so you've got it turned on, but you do have it lowered, then you will, I've discovered that you end up with just cultivating, which is intriguing. Right, that is the end of our fertilizer pretty much. There we go. So let's turn that off, lift this up. We are going to take this back down to the shop, get the fertilizer refilled, and then we will be back and we will finish this field off. So here's our pallets that we had left over from when we initially filled this. So we should be able to just pull up alongside, and we'll take all of these. We want to fill this all up. So add the seed bags first. There we go. And add the fertilizer on top, which takes us up to 31%. That should do us well. I'm just thinking, what in our rotation we still have to plant? We'll get more seeds, and we'll get another seeder. We'll get a planter actually for the corn, so that will be good. We're gonna need to get a tree planter and some poplar seeds to do our poplar fields, so that's all good. So yeah, I don't think we need we're going to need anything in this beyond what we've got in here at the moment. Oilseed radish is the only thing that we might need to plant from this in field 19, and we may try and plant that directly because we've got a cultivator built into this. That might be a good way to go. We could lime that grass first, is the only thing, and that field does need ploughing. But we could plough the oilseed radish in once we're past. So yeah, there are many possibilities with what we can do with that field, and I'm just thinking of ways we can speed things up. The yield on the oilseed radish I don't think has a huge effect. So yeah, right, there we go. Line ourselves back up. Start up our seeder, and down we go, and away we go, and hopefully I have pretty much got that spot on then. Perfect. I think we might need to though reduce the width of our GPS, because that does seem to be leaving a bit of a gap, so let's do that. I'm gonna, it's the auto width says 19.78. Let's take that down to 16. We'll turn on the lines just so that we can see what we're doing, and yeah, we seem to have an offset of some description as well. In fact, no, that is totally wrong where we are there. So let's straighten this up and try that again. Auto width 27. And we look at that and we move this over. And we should be good doing that. Down and away we go. And you can see the gap seems to be about right for our seeder actually. So I don't quite know why it's been leaving gaps in other rows. But otherwise we're good. So let's do that. No. Drop it down. What I want is to turn off my lines. Like so. And away we go again. Yeah, we should have enough stuff to get this field completed now. So let's do that and see where we are after that. So we're about to finish the main part of the field and hit the headlands. I think one more bit here and then we'll be in that position. There we go. And it's not a very big bit. Down like that. We want to go and start in that top corner over there, I think. Yeah, there we go. Actually, we're looking at doing 2 headlands, so I want to finish back this side. So we'll head up there and start in this top corner this way. This should then allow us to get this headland done around the outside here and complete this, which again would be great job, very nicely done as a result. So we're going to come round here, position ourselves, and try and make it so that we leave about 8 meters along the outside, if we can. Shouldn't be too bad though. And yeah, that then means our field is nicely done and all seeded. We've got the barley in here. We're looking at next time getting the corn in where the potatoes were. That will then allow us to that will be that done, because we are on day 4 of spring, is what I'm trying to get at here. So we can't actually plant the corn until day 5 of spring. So that's what we're trying to get ourselves to at the moment. This around here and we'll catch the apexes of each of these. Just gives us a little bit of an overlap, but never mind. And means that we will yeah, so this means that is the last field. Field 31 is the last field that we have to do, that is of our main fields, and that means we've got wheat, barley, canola and corn in those fields. I'm tempted, or I have been tempted, to do a second field of corn. The reason for this being is that is the main feed for the pigs, and so having more corn means that we're better off. But having said that, corn is also one of the is not such a profitable crop otherwise, and we should get enough corn to mean that we cover our pigs when we get them. So the plan at the moment is to get the pigs when we've actually got the feed to feed them, and the straw to bed them and all of that. Otherwise it ends up costing a fair bit of money. The only downside to that is that they will not have generated any slurry for us by the time we come to spread that. But that is not the end of the world. It's not the worst thing. It would be nice to benefit from the free fertilization that the slurry brings. But yeah, I think the costs from trying to do the pigs too early would outweigh the advantages of doing that. We've actually left a slightly wider area down this headland than I'd meant to, but we're okay, we're good. Ditto in this corner. I think what we'll do is we'll pull that around to there, lift up, and then reverse this back into the corner, and that way we'll get more of the corner as a result. There we go. Perfect. Well, almost. So we covered this field pretty well. There's a few gaps. Turning this JCB with the GPS has meant that in a couple of places we've turned a little bit sharper than we meant to, and left a little bit of the gap in the field. But they're all sort of small spots. There's nothing massive in the field where we've left huge bald patches or anything like that. So that is good. And yeah, our seeding is almost complete. As I said, I don't think we've got any more seeds to do with this seeder. We are looking at putting, well, we got oilseed radish, but the thing about oilseed radish is we don't need to put the fertilizer down with it. So the fact that we are on our last 25 litres of fertilizer as we come up to this top corner is not a problem at all. We will be in a position where we don't actually need the last little bit of fertilizer. We'll run out of it very, very quickly when we go to plant the oilseed radish. So yeah, there we are. That has completed this field with just 4% of fertilizer left. But that will do with that. So let's get this home and back to our yard. We're going to have to buy, I think what we'll do is we might go and buy a pressure washer quickly, because as I said, this seeder, we're not really going to be using it much more. Field 19 is going to be where we next use it. And if we're using it in 19, I think we're probably going to use it in 83 as well, both of which are grass fields. Now I should really check my crop rotation, because grass is the same as poplar. We should be putting wheat in those two fields. But I'm not planning to. I'm planning to put the radish in. Oh, there we go. And if we're putting the radish in, then the next one on those will be barley. Which should be fine. Which should be fine. Right, back into the yard with this. Then we'll use that shed there as a storage shed, ultimately. The only thing I've got a problem with is where to store the seeder most of the time. Because where I like to store it is in here. And I can't. Where we need to put it at the moment is we just need to sit it outside. So we'll just park this in the yard for now. We do have one other job to do in this yard before we go today. And that is in preparation for the arrival of our pigs. We need to position this. So this is part of the animal extension mod. We're going to move this all the way over here. Make it really, really easy for us to do this. So change that, turn that, and yeah, we'll put our stopcock by here and lower it down a bit. And if we change over to here, we can put in this as well. I'll just change angle, make sure we're good. We are good. I'm happy with that. Enter, and that will place it. So we can't move those. But that is a really good position there. We've actually got, because it's rained, we've actually got a full thing of water ready for our pigs. Pigs, the one thing about them is that we need to get food for them. Same with the chickens. Chickens we are going to get at some point. So there's the pigs. We're going to get a mixture on here of, I think we're going to get some Berkshires. Whoops, cancel that. So the Berkshires are male pigs, so they are farrow to finish, and then we're going to get some, probably some spotted as well, I think, and those are from start to finish, from birth to finish. So yeah, those are what we're going to do with those. Let's go check on this. It's not too far off finishing our field, our class, which is good news. There is an odd thing with course plays, that course play coming up to the edge of the field blocks traffic. It's almost as if it doesn't know what, the traffic doesn't know that the tractor isn't going to be coming out of the field. Which is that little bit odd. It's a little bit weird, that. We are going to finish here, though, I think. We've got quite a bit accomplished today. Before I finish, though, I do want to go over what we still have to buy. So, based on your feedback from last time, we could get a smaller combine like the John Deere or things, but I'm trying to go for a sort of a class JCB mix here. So the Tucano is going to be our combine of choice, and I'm just looking at it in comparison to... Yeah, so the John Deere is 285. The Tucano is 348. It's £50,000 more for an extra 1,000 litres in its tank. But that is the combine we're going for. So it's 348,000. The header I'm going to go for with it, I think, is an interesting one. These were released on the Mod Hub not too long ago. I think it was this week. It's actually not that one. It is the 7.2 meter to match as closely as possible the standard one that comes with the combine, and yeah, so we're gonna get this, which just the Sony CRX folding header. I think is going to be a really interesting header to use on here, and we got choice. We can actually. The great thing is, this does. Now, what is that? Does that do? What is that for? The Soldier Flex. That's interesting. Let us know in the comments if you know what that's for. And that's normal. That's the rape header. So we'll need to take it to the shop to do OSR with it. Yeah, that is interesting. What is that third change for it? That will be an interesting one to use. And then trailer-wise, I think what we're going to use, we've got 11,000 for those. I want to use the Baileys. Standard size there is 21,000. We need something that holds 22. So, 21,700 for the arch. That's what we're going to go for. Yeah, we're going to have one of those. And that actually is where I'm going to leave it. This will have finished this in a bit. Next time we will be getting our corn in the ground and probably trying to get our last couple of fields ploughed. For now, though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.